Welcome to Phoenix Business RadioX. We're at the Women with Vision Conference by NABO Phoenix today. I'm Jacqueline DeStremps, host of 3C Amplified and founder of Another Hand Advantage. And right now I'm joined by Deborah Bateman of Risk Blossoming. Welcome, Deborah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I actually just sat through your morning keynote. That was amazing. And it was all around vision and creating that vision. But what I found really interesting is that you brought legacy into the conversation, which I haven't really seen a lot of before. So first tell me a little bit about your business, and then we can talk a little bit about vision and legacy and things like that.
Risk Blossoming is probably a business based on helping people live the life of their dreams. So as a mentor and coach, I'm a boutique organization, so I only take 5 clients at a time, but I have that side of my business along with a travel blog that my husband and I use to really and truly inspire people to plan, to travel, and to continue their lives and explore, discover, and grow.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you kind of touched on that towards the end. And one of the things that you said that I can identify with a lot, as I love to travel as well, was the way that travel really helps people kind of open up and, expand the horizons. And really, as a business owner myself, sometimes it takes that stepping out and seeing how other things are happening around the world and bringing that back in. So when you're working with your clients, what does that look like? What does that process look like for you?
I started out calling myself a coach, but I have evolved to calling myself a mentor because in my mind, it's a very emotionally connected relationship in which I am really very much engaged in trying to help that person recognize their dreams. So through an exploratory of understanding who they are, what their core values are, we really help them discover their why and their purpose, and then really make sure that their life's goals are aligned with those core values and their authentic self.
Yeah, because that's really the trick. If you're wanting to really bring that vision into everything that you're doing in your life, you got to work that. How does that work out? You can't have one and the other being separate. It really works a lot better together.
It really creates a life, and a life that's a balanced life with your work, your family life, your community. I mean, it's not compartmentalized. You really understand how defining that life that you want to dream incorporates all aspects and really allows them to be inextricably intertwined and really play off and create value for each other.
I really like that, intertwined. So in your talk this morning, you, like I mentioned, you went on to expand just creating that vision to then also creating that legacy. And I was actually talking with somebody just a little while ago, and she was brought up something I was thinking at the same time. How would you define legacy? In what way are you meaning how we can bring in our legacy to this journey as well?
I think a legacy is individual as the person themselves. I mean, some legacies are huge, and we saw examples of those women that had created enormous legacies forever. I see mine as a humble legacy. I believe in women, and I believe that a lot of women have not had the opportunity to truly discover who they are. So I believe that my legacy, which is a very humble legacy, is helping one person at a time discover who they are, what their gifts are, what their core values are, and empowering them to dream and go make that life happen.
Excellent. So I'm guessing then that this conference, when this came up and you learned about the conference or were approached by it, I'm sure, boom, no-brainer, you want to be there. But what are some of the things that you're hoping that the women who attend today not only got out of what you had to say this morning, but some of the other speakers that are here today as well?
Well, I think there's always that power of connection, and I think all the aha moments that we have when we listen to the other speakers, so many times it's things that we know, things that we've done, things that we know that we should do, and that we aren't doing. So I think it's an incredibly great time to make those notes, to write things down, and then to go realign and refocus our lives.
That was actually one of the big takeaways I had from when you were speaking, is you said, what I'm going to say today, you've probably heard before, but here's the difference. I'm going to tell you, I know you've heard it before, but you need to hear it again. And if you've got a pen, start writing it down. What was that you were saying then, as far as what the act of just writing something down can do for your goals?
The act of writing it down engages the other side of your brain, so that you've engaged both the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, so that basically it manifests itself throughout your body. And it creates an energy that actually does increase the likelihood of accomplishing that goal by 40%.
Yeah, that was amazing. When you put up that 40%, I thought, okay, where was she going with this? But you're right. And when you asked the audience who likes to make lists or who makes lists, everybody's hands shot up, because I think nowadays we have so much, kind of noise going on around us. And so making those lists can really help us focus and bring in some more clarity. And maybe not necessarily just a to-do list, but what are some other things that women in particular should be maybe writing down on a daily basis?
And they need to be all encompassing. I mean, I think they need to be focused on relationships, maybe something that you want to do to reconnect or enhance a relationship. I think they should be financial. Being a banker for 50 years, I can't help it. We need to have financial goals so that we can empower ourselves to live the life of our dreams, to travel, to do the things that we want. So it shouldn't be myopic. It shouldn't be just focused on our career, just on our business. We need to look at all aspects holistically, because the more our relationships are enriched, the more our bank account is enriched, the more empowered we become, and the more successful we will be.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Deborah, for stopping by today. We loved speaking with you. If people would like to get in touch with you, what's a good way to learn more about you and your business and working with you?
You can contact me at deborah@deborahbateman.com, and my website is riskblossoming.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. You've been listening to Phoenix Business RadioX, and we are broadcasting out at the NABO Phoenix Women with Vision Conference. Thank you so much for joining us.